in Roma. Okay, I am not alone for this week's Pele Report. As you can see, there are thousands of people here as the moon is in Pisces. Pisces, which rules Christianity. And the eclipse just hours ago. Very amazing energy. I'm sure that you are feeling it if you're listening to this report. The moon does go into Aries later on today. Okay, and then Friday moves into Taurus, conjunct Uranus, and then by Sunday moves into Gemini and will be conjuncting with Jupiter. Look at all these statues of all the wise men. I'm going to be talking a little bit about that. It's all men in the patriarchy. But anyway, so many aspects this week, okay? We've got, today, Mercury opposite Saturn. Mercury going through Virgo, opposing Saturn. Tomorrow, the Sun is in very last degrees of Virgo, trines Uranus. Friday opposes Neptune. Saturday trines Pluto, and Sunday goes into Libra. Right? We have all the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto at these late degrees. Right? So it's really something to just have them in alignment, which they will be lining up for the next 3 years or so. And I can talk more about that on another day. But besides that, so the sun does all of that. It is the equinox. Absolutely. Whether you're in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, it's equal day and equal night. And things are changing and shifting. Not only the sun is changing signs, going into Libra, but Venus is leaving Libra and going into Scorpio. She's going to square Pluto and go into Scorpio on Sunday. Yeah, a deepening. We're having a little bit of a deepening. I just love Rome. I love the statues. I love the fountains. Oh my goodness. It's really something. On Saturday, Mercury, going through, the middle of Virgo, is going to square Jupiter. Yeah, cruising right along. And then by Tuesday, that Mercury will trine Uranus. So, these are the aspects. I want to be talking a lot here today about Pisces and Neptune, the eclipse, Saturn, the moon moving through there. And let me find a spot where I can look at the camera. Ciao! Buongiorno, ciao, grazie. Oh my goodness. I am sitting in front of the Castel Sant'Angelo, the castle of the Holy Angel. And you can see the Holy Angel up on top. And so many feelings have come up for me, and I'm sure for you, through this eclipse in the sign of Pisces, conjunct Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, Pisces, the ruler of Christianity, and the age of Pisces that is coming to a close right now. So what I really want to be talking to you today about is this Virgo-Pisces axis. Yes, there's this opposition. Mercury and the Sun moving through Virgo. Oh, and I didn't mention Black Moon Lilith. Black Moon Lilith is conjunct the Sun Friday at the 29th degree of Virgo, just before the Sun goes into Libra. Yeah? I want to read to you the Sabian symbol for that conjunction. Very, very powerful. So, this is the axis of initiation, is the way that I see it. I use these different axes Aries, Libra, the axis of relationship. Okay, Scorpio, Taurus, the axis of power. Gemini, Sagittarius, the axis of thought. Capricorn, Cancer, the axis of security. Leo, Aquarius, the axis of creativity. And you can add on to these. These are just some key words that have to do with this axis. And so the sun moving from Virgo into Libra, yes? And the moon moving from Pisces into Aries. This is a shift. This is an initiation. And the sun moving out of Virgo into Libra is coming out after 6 months. Aries through Virgo is the subjective inner world of development of our identity, our purpose, our sense of self, that we now, over the next 6 months from Libra around to Pisces, exude, extend, expand outward, come into relationship, come into socialization. So there is this whole, that 180-degree opposition is not only with the eclipse and the full moon and the moon's nodes, but now that 0 point of Aries, which is the beginning, we are now halfway through, right? This cycle that began 6 months ago when that sun went into Aries. And this initiation, this change is, I want to put it in a larger context of greater change. This is the changing not only of the ages from Pisces into Aquarius, kind of leaving, the church, leaving this, this whole Christian, conquer and the crusades and the polarized heaven and hell and right and wrong, and that we're born sinners and we need to be saved, and even using Christ as a martyr. Last week I talked about Rudolf Steiner, and he had a whole different interpretation of the 4 Gospels. He even wrote the 5th Gospel, and he had a complete, different understanding of Christ as consciousness. Christ consciousness. And that Christ consciousness descended into Jesus. And each one of us has access to this Christ consciousness, which is actually associated with Chiron. Chiron, Christ. That same thing, of descending into the underworld and resurrecting. This is an ancient, Osiris, Dionysus, Christ consciousness, Chiron. There is this whole energy, And we can even say Persephone. Yes, she also did a descent, resurrection through this whole time period. And so what happened? What is this about? Well, the death is an annihilation of the old ego. An annihilation. I love that word. It's like complete wipeout of the old self, of the old ego, of the old identity. And as we can see in today's mantra, it is the old identity which is the result of conditioning. Conditioning. We have social conditioning, cultural conditioning, religious conditioning, family conditioning. I tell you, the more that I go into all these layers and levels of identity that are the result of all the conditioning that I have had, it's phenomenal how we have been programmed to believe that masculinity, I'll just take one, the masculine and the feminine, to be a man, right, is to control the feminine, to control the feelings, to control the needs, to suppress any weakness that would take us away from achieving the goal. Yes, we are on the crusade. We are charging forward. This patriarchal conditioning of external authorities, that it is the priest. We need a priest to tell us, okay, how to get to heaven. We need a minister. Okay, we need even a shaman or a guru or a Dalai Lama, or we need someone outside of ourselves. This whole thing about religion is that God is outside of ourselves. So think of the religious conditioning that we have had. Then we have the cultural conditioning. And we have the social conditioning of materialism. Materialism. It's about money. Money is power. And this physical world of the 5 physical senses is all that there is. Thank you, Sir Francis Bacon. Yes, he really brought in this materialistic view of science, and our society is geared towards our appearances. So the feminine not only is our inner world of feeling, okay, and our inner world of needs and tapping into our heart space, which is what? This is the way that we access our own unique specialness, our own personal power. So the past has been, whether it's the feudal lords or Caesar or the Pope or anyone else, it has been about subjugating the populace, yes, and owning, taking, sucking the power from individuals to feed the hierarchy. Think of the pyramid, and even in the US dollar, there's the third eye on top of the pyramid. There's a fly that went right over my camera. Anyway, you get this sense, okay, that the past has been about robbing, stealing, taking our individual personal power, keeping us out of touch with our feelings, out of touch with our first and second chakras, out of touch with our kundalini energy. And so as we let go of that conditioning, as we let go of what we have been taught, of what we have been told, of what success is, of even what power is. Power is not about, managing or controlling the outside world. Power is about tapping in to our own unique self. And here, I gotta go into, because Neptune in Pisces also has to do with healing. Virgo has to do with healing. The sun moving through Virgo is the healing energy. And even now Black Moon Lilith coming back into Virgo is the shadow of the healer. What is the shadow of the healer? This just came to me last night and this morning. I got to kind of brace ourselves for this. It's a little bit of a slap in the face, but it's that, and so many people listening to the Pele Report, and so many astrologers, and so many healers. What are we? We're empaths, and we take in our surrounding energy. And we have poor boundaries because we are porous, and we take in other people's energy, our patients, our clients, the political energy of a country. what the social media, it's not just conditioning, it is also sympathy. And when we take in all of this energy, what do we, what happens to our personal alchemy? Well, I would say we get upset. We could get angry. We could be, sad and move into despair at the state of the union, the state of the non-union, the state of the planet, the state of the collective consciousness, the state of the collective unconsciousness. And what do we want to do? Heal it. We want to change it. We want to heal it. We want to use our personal energy and our personal power to change the outcome, to alter what is, to bring wholeness, joy, peace, light, happiness to a condition or a situation that we may judge as wrong, as bad, as unbalanced, as sick. And we can really lose ourselves in these judgments. And we can and we can want to come in as the rescuer, as the savior, as the healer, and change what is. So a lot of us can be bumping up against a wall of inadequacy right now because these are huge evolutionary forces so far beyond our individual control. It's absurd to think that we can, manipulate or change the future and the outcome of humanity. So and that feeling can bring in so much despair, so much hopelessness, so much sorrow. You can feel so helpless, so distraught. No, it's too big for me. I can't do this. I can't perform. My energy is drained. I feel sick myself. What is it? Doctor, heal thyself. Yeah? I think Christ even said to the, pick up your mat, heal yourselves. So this eclipse energy and this time period is about self-healing. I want to encourage everyone to go home. I want to encourage you to go within. I want to encourage us to kind of surrender to what is and let it be. Okay, that's the song for this week. Let it be. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Let it be. And so what do we do? How do we find our center? How do we find our soul? And outside of all that conditioning, as all the scaffold falls away and we come out of Virgo, we have to find ourselves in order to lose ourselves, yeah? So I want to read to you two things. Number one is that the first one I want to read? It's interesting how both of these have a sense of crisis or a trial of endurance. So here is the conjunction of the sun with Black Moon Lilith, okay, at the 29th degree of Virgo. A seeker after ancient occult knowledge is reading an ancient scroll which illumines his mind. After a crisis, one should seek to realign the renewed consciousness with the primordial revelation of the truth of man. This is outside all conditioning. We need to get back to the primordial truth of man. Any revolutionary movement, once it has succeeded in overcoming the inertia of the past and in toppling obsolete structures, needs to tap the most essential realities of what man represents and signifies in the universal order. This fly is driving me nuts. Or else it merely re-embodies in a superficially altered manner the very things it has destroyed. This is a crucial moment in occultism. The pattern of man, in quotes, is an archetypal power that may be contacted. It must be sought with undeviating determination. After each revolutionary crisis, this pattern and this power can be contacted. Always the same, yet at each new cycle, perceivable in a different light. Each individual and each group or racial unit must come in its own way to the root knowledge, which provides the only safe foundation for rebirth. This fly loves my ear. I don't know what to do. Kill it is the masculine instinct. I'm in Mars right now. But let's get to the third quarter square moon. Yeah, it comes at the 3rd degree of Cancer, as the sun has moved into the 3rd degree of Libra. A man bundled in fur leads a shaggy deer. The need to overcome stagnation and cold during trial of endurance. This symbol has suggested an exploration into Arctic regions, but it seems more relevant to see in it simply the difficult phase imposed by the new allegiance upon the reoriented consciousness. In India, the deer was the symbol of Brahma, the god of the creator god. The antlers represent the extension of the mind power located in the head. The new path may lead to cold regions, requiring insulation from harsh circumstances. There may even be a desire to escape from new responsibilities. But the will leads the mind on toward the spiritual north of the soul. We are in a time of transition from the patriarchy into, I call it, the all-agarchy. Yeah? From a dominating culture to a relationship culture. From the age of Pisces and Christianity into the age of Aquarius, of consciousness, liberation, science and technology, objectivity, moving into cosmic consciousness and enlightenment. So we're at this threshold, and it's a crisis. And it's not just this part. I mean, this eclipse kind of really brings it in. This is a transitional time. But in the overall, this crisis just means alchemical transformation. And we can take it as opportunity. And that opportunity is a chance to throw off all the lies, all the falsehoods, all the patterns and conditionings and education that we've gotten from external authorities and to come home. Third quarter moon in Cancer, Mars in Cancer. We come home to our personal truth. So the mantra for this week is, I have been so conditioned that I don't know what to believe. So I must listen and feel inwardly, as only my truth will set me free. This is coming into a meditative state, stilling the mind, releasing judgment, surrendering to what is, trusting spirit guidance, soothing the nervous system, stilling the heart, deep breathing. Whoosh. Black Moon Lilith wants to take us in and take us down. As we cross that threshold into relationship, into partnership, we bring our authentic self. Not a conditioned self, not who we think we should be for somebody else or for society or for our profession or our job, but who we truly are, the truth of primordial humanity. One more time. I have been so conditioned that I don't know what to believe. So I need to listen and feel inwardly, as only my truth can set me free. Namaste, aloha, so much love.